Brad, what's it feel like to get your first point in your first game with your parents looking on? Dream come true?
Yeah, dream come true through for sure. It's an unbelievable feeling yesterday when I figured out that I was gonna play. It didn't feel real at first, and then getting here and experiencing this with along with Chibi and all these guys that made it so special, and to be able to get a win as well is feels awesome.
What's it like to just jump right in? You weren't even here for morning skate because you're still traveling, and then not like you'd had much time with your line mates, right, to kind of get prepared.
I mean, I guess you just felt excited, and you don't have as much time to think about it, so maybe it's better that way. Don't get all rattled up with the nerves, but
right.
it was fun.
So you get your first point, an assist, and then Nikita goes and tries to one-up you, I guess, with a goal.
Yeah, for sure. It was a really nice shot. So it's awesome.
Brad, were you able to look up in the stands and find your folks? I don't know.
No, I was more just focused on the game.
Did you know that you had the assist on that goal?
Not at first, no, until they
kind
corrected
of a long
it. I wasn't.
pause
For sure.
What was that like waiting, or just?
I wasn't really waiting for it. I just figured that maybe I didn't get one on it. So, but I felt good when they announced it.
How well did you think you were able to transfer your game from the AHL to your first NHL game?
Yeah, I thought pretty well. Obviously, playing with those two guys, it makes my job pretty easy. And I was just kind of came in and tried to treat it like, obviously it's hard to, but try to treat it like another game and go play and do my thing. So,
what do you think this will do for your development, your confidence? Presumably you'll go back to the Moose on the playoff run now and maybe be back here at some point later this spring. What does it do personally for you to see that you can play at this level?
Yeah, it's obviously, like I said, a dream come true, and it's helps obviously confidence-wise, and to be able to see what you can do. And now I know what the pace is like and what the standard is, and there's still a lot of work to do, and I know what I need to improve on, and but just kind of see where the standard's at, and know in that way going forward.
I know you probably focus mainly on the Moose, but what do you think of what the Jets kind of have going here? They tied a franchise record for wins today, and they're going to start playoffs at home. Just what have you heard and seen, I guess?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I mean, the feeling around Winnipeg, you kind of feel it, and they've been playing great. Winning a ton, and I think they have a really good chance.
Awesome, thanks.
Thanks, Brad.
Scoring your first NHL goal is something you've dreamed about for a while?
Yeah, it's like the dream which you start from the first steps on the ice and live with this every day. Like, I'm really excited and happy to be here. Thanks for the opportunity, Jets. Thanks for the team, all staff. Like, I'm really happy, and for sure, thanks who helped me for all this way, like my parents, coaches, everybody.
Right.
Yep.
Obviously, this came together pretty quick to get you here. Did you have anyone here in the rink tonight, like family or anything, that was able to watch, or are they all watching online?
They're watching online from Russia,
right.
Because it's really hard to travel now. I think it's 30 hours to fly it.
Yeah. What's going through your head when you get that pass and looks like you then have a bunch of space and beat a pretty good goaltender in Thatcher Demko to score?
Yeah, it was really good forecheck. Like I put stick on a Demko, like make a rim to the Nina, and Nina great look for me, and just tried to make a shot for the open space. Yeah, and first emotions, like I don't know, like something like you couldn't believe for this. Then you from the next shift you starting like what you did, and yeah, it's really good. Like unbelievable.
With all the lack of time, Nikita, did you have time to be nervous from the time you jumped on the plane to come here today?
Oh yeah, really nervous. It was a tough day today. No sleep at night. We were waking up around 4 a.m. So it's 2 flights. Came here around 12:1. Little nap and like a lot of energy. That does matter. So we are not sleeping with the guys. Yeah. So how you can like be without energy to making a debut in NHL? Yeah.
What is your season with the Moose? You've had a great season, you and Brad and lots of guys, but what has that done just for your confidence to know that you can play at this level?
You know, it's a big part of development. Me and Lambo, step by step, from the first games, were like take a lot of good things from the American Hockey League. Coach working with us, a lot of the guys in a team like really good, always helps us, like partners who like always go with in my line, like really thankful for everybody. Yep.
It looked like quite an emotional celebration there when you scored. What went through your mind the second you saw the puck hit the back of the net?
Yeah, I said like you can't believe it first seconds, like then you like sit on a bench and like go to like to your mind and things like yeah, it's happened, like you're here and like it's the first step of your dream. It starts.
Did Nino Niederreiter give you a handshake on the bench?
Oh yeah, everybody guys like make me a celebration, like everybody say good words, thanks the team. Yep.
And it's a game winner too, so
Yeah.
it was a big goal, right? It wasn't just a nothing goal.
Yeah, the first game winner goal this season for me.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Haven't had any 17 goals with the Moose?
Yes.
But none that were
No.
game winners? Okay,
Yeah.
good time.
What's going to happen to the puck, Nikita?
I don't know. It's here. This one.
Can you maybe send it to your folks since there's no way they could have been able to make it here after your game, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Awesome. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Small crowd tonight. We like that.
You were saying going into the game, big goal, despite who was in the lineup, was to exit the game with good habits. It looks like mission accomplished.
Yeah, for the most part, the habits were good. We played hard. We turned the puck over a couple of times, but that's going to happen in every hockey game. Again, in the third period, we buckled down and we got the job done.
As a coach, what are you doing right when young guys come into the lineup and succeed the way they did? Cole Perfetti comes back into the lineup and has been kind of hitting the ground running every time he comes in. David Gustafson. When you've got guys sitting out of the lineup, getting into the lineup and playing the way they play, what is the coaching staff doing right in that case?
Well, first of all, you give Mark Morrison and his staff a lot of credit for the job they've done with Lambert and Chibrikov. Those two kids step in and they look good. So Mark is doing a fantastic job with the Moose and getting those guys ready to go. So good on him. And Marty and Brad and Arnie, they spend a lot of time with the guys who aren't playing, making sure they get extra work and pushing them and give those guys credit, because it's hard when you're not playing to stay motivated every day to work and give that extra, because you're not playing. But so the players give them a lot of credit because they did put the work in, and the coaches, the assistant coaches, have been fantastic with those guys.
That game you played against Dallas the other night, the Dallas players afterwards said that's Bones hockey, right? You're a well-known coach for being able to implement a defensive style and be able to grind other teams. So what does it mean to Rick Bowness to coach his team to the least amount of goals scored against the season?
Again, I give the players credit, because the players have to go on the ice and do it, and they have to go out there every night and be committed to it, and they have to recognize when it's not working and go back to it. So our players have worked incredibly hard all year, and so you give them a ton of credit. The goaltending's been exceptional, as you know, but again, when things slip and we address the issues, the players buy right back in and turn it right around. So to play the way we play is hard. There's no question it's hard. It's frustrating to play against, and I think our players take great pride in that when they're talking to their friends around the league that, geez, we hate playing you guys. You're so hard to play against. I think that's extra motivation for our players, but it all comes from them. They're committed to it.
Rick, how efficiently do you think Lambert and Chibrikov were able to transfer what they were showing in the AHL to their first NHL games?
Yeah, it's a good game for them to break into, because they didn't have their A squad out there, and we didn't, and they were able to get some ice time. We weren't matching lines; we were just throwing 4 lines out there, and they just felt very comfortable. So again, give Mark and his staff a lot of credit, because those two kids were ready to step in and play.
And for your other NHL players, your regulars who were sitting but managed to get the action tonight, I feel like this is a good tune-up for them as well. Yeah. The guys that wanted to play were in there tonight, and so they wanted to, because we're starting Sunday now, as you know. So some guys didn't want to play, and that's fine. The guys that wanted to play were in there, and to give the guys, they had the option. Couldn't sit them all, but the guys that wanted to play, they wanted to play 82 games, and they didn't want to take too much time off between now and the opener.
Rick, I want to ask about the 8-game winning streak that ties a franchise record. I just want to know, have you ever been coaching a team that's been this red hot going into the playoffs?
Well, it's a good question. I think when I was an assistant in Vancouver, I was pretty good too. And the teams in Tampa were very good. So was there an 8-game streak? I can't remember.
And what does
I'm getting old, man. The memory's not as sharp as it used to be.
And what does it say about your group that a good chunk of those 8 wins came against a Colorado, who you're going to play in the first round, or at Dallas on the road? It seems like the competition from the 8-game winning streak earlier in the year ramped up as the play does this time.
It did, and you go back to the Nashville game. I mean, we weren't great in that game, but we were good when we had to be good, and we found a way to win it in overtime, and they had been playing great hockey. The big confidence booster came from Dallas. That was a big confidence booster for us. We did not see Colorado's A game, so we're not going to fool ourselves and think that's what we're going to see next week. There's not a chance. They're a great hockey team, so we caught them on a bad day. So we don't get worked up about that one. But the Dallas game was pretty good.
So sorry, just one more. You mentioned Dallas. I'm thinking back to the year you took that team to the Cup final, and I think a lot of people didn't necessarily expect it. You, like a lot of other teams, had like a short window of time to get that team playing the kind of hockey you wanted them to play, which you did. Did you draw any parallels from that year to this year with the kind of late, 6-game losing streak and the way you've kind of snapped this team in right at the right time?
Well, when we went back before that, the bubble, we had to make some adjustments to we weren't scoring any goals. So when we went to training camp in that summer, right, whenever that June and July, we implemented some getting our defense a lot more involved offensively. And if you look at the stats from like our D, we scored a lot of huge goals for us in the bubble. And I still say to this day, had we had Ben Bishop in the net, we would have won the Cup because our team game was really good. I know a lot of people were surprised that we got that far, but the team game was really good. We were scoring goals. Tampa had Bassey, and Hudobin played great. But Ben Bishop, when he's on, he's the top 3 in the world. So we really missed him in the finals. Good, thanks.